She opened the door. It wasn't there yesterday. It appeared from nothing. A dark wood frame in a hallway she'd walked 1,000 times. She knew, with a certainty that chilled her to the bone, that she shouldn't open it. But curiosity is a powerful thing, isn't it? Subscribe now, and I'll show you why some doors should never, ever be opened. It was just after midnight. The house was settled, groaning under the weight of the night. A glass of water, that's all she wanted. She padded down the familiar hallway, her bare feet silent on the worn floorboards. Moonlight sliced through the windows, casting long, skeletal shadows. And then she saw it. Halfway down the hall, where a blank wall had always stood, was a door. It was old, made of a dark, almost black wood, with an ornate iron handle that seemed to absorb the little light in the corridor. It wasn't just a door. It felt like a void, a question mark carved into the very fabric of her home. Her heart began a frantic rhythm against her ribs. She blinked, rubbed her eyes, expecting it to vanish. But it remained, solid and imposing. A door she had never seen before. The next morning, the sun did little to chase away the unease. The door was still there. At breakfast, she tried to sound casual. "Did you guys see the new door in the hallway?" Her husband looked up from his coffee, a frown creasing his brow. "What door?" Her daughter, busy with her phone, just shrugged. "There's no new door, Mom," she insisted, her voice rising with a note of panic. "Yes, there is. It's dark wood, really old-looking." They exchanged a look, the kind of look you give someone who's losing their grip. They walked with her to the hallway, and she pointed, her finger trembling. "See, right there." But they just saw the same blank wall they saw every day. Her husband put a comforting hand on her shoulder. "Honey, there's nothing there. Maybe you had a weird dream." No one remembered it. No one believed her. But when they left the hallway and she glanced back, the door was still there. It was real, and it was waiting for her. She started to doubt her own mind. Was she going crazy? Was this some kind of stress-induced hallucination? She'd take photos, but on her phone screen there was only the blank wall. Yet, when she looked up, the door stood defiantly present. It was her secret, her torment. Days turned into a week. The door became a constant presence in her thoughts. She avoided the hallway at night, her sleep plagued by nightmares of what might lie behind it. She could almost hear whispers coming from it, faint and indecipherable, like the rustling of dry leaves. Was it a gateway? A tomb? A figment of a fracturing mind? The not knowing was worse than any monster she could imagine. She had to know. She had to put an end to the torment. That night, fueled by a mixture of terror and desperation, she walked down the hallway one last time. The air grew cold as she approached, a deep, unnatural chill that had nothing to do with the house's heating. Her hand, shaking uncontrollably, reached out. The iron handle was like a block of ice, the cold seeping into her skin, straight to her bones. Her breath hitched. She turned the handle. It clicked, a sound that echoed like a gunshot in the silent house. With a deep, shuddering groan, the door swung inward. Darkness, not just the absence of light, but a thick, velvety blackness that seemed to swallow sound. And then her eyes adjusted. She wasn't looking into another room. She was looking into her own bedroom. The details were perfect: the rumpled sheets on her bed, the book on her nightstand, the way the moonlight fell across the floor, and there, sleeping peacefully in her bed, was herself. She saw her own chest rise and fall with each steady breath. A wave of vertigo washed over her. This was impossible. This was a dream. But the cold handle in her hand, the splintery texture of the doorframe under her other palm, all felt terrifyingly real. How could she be here, and also there? As she stared, frozen in horror at the impossible sight, a voice slithered out from the darkness of the doorway, a dry, ancient whisper that seemed to come from the door itself. Every choice you make, every path you don't take, it splinters reality. It creates another you. The whisper wrapped around her, chilling and intimate. Tonight, you chose to open the door. You chose me. The sleeping figure in the bed stirred, and its eyes snapped open. They weren't her eyes anymore. They were wide, black, and utterly empty, and they were staring right at her. She opened the door. It wasn't there yesterday. Is this story just a figment of my imagination? Or is it a warning? A reminder that every choice we make has a consequence. Sometimes in worlds we can't even see. Maybe the door is real. Maybe it's not. But the next time you see something where it shouldn't be, ask yourself if you're brave enough to find out what's on the other side. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel for more stories that explore the shadows. Because you never know what's waiting behind a door that shouldn't exist.